What's up everyone, and today I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on the newest Warbond, Servants of Freedom, that came out on February 6th. It is honestly, if I'm just going to cut right to the chase, this is one of the best Warbonds they've added in a while, where to me personally, all the guns are just honestly S tier. The armor, on one hand, aesthetically, I like it. Not the biggest fan of the gladiatorial praetorian like face mask. I could do without that, but I know there's people out there who like that aesthetic, so I don't need it to be taken out or anything, because just because a certain armor style doesn't apply to what I like doesn't mean there's not, 1,000 other people out there who might like it. So I'm happy that, the people who do like this kind of style of armor have something to wear. The perk Martyrdom, or I don't even remember what the name is. I just called it Martyrdom once I realized what it was called. I think it's like what? Let me look it up real quick. What the armor perk was. It's basically Martyrdom. If you've ever played Call of Duty, it's called Integrated Explosion. Basically, if you die, your body is gonna blow up like a grenade, like a little bit more of a high yield explosive grenade. I've heard that if you get killed with this and your body like blows up, that it does have the power to kill a charger. So it's not completely useless, but I feel like it's more usable for stuff that has melee swarms. So you're gonna have like your squids and your bugs, where that armor is gonna be more useful. But bots, yeah, it's rarely ever useful. At least for me, since I play mostly bots, it's not really that useful. I could be wrong. That's just my opinion on it. It's not a horrible armor set perk, but it really does vary on how your playstyle is. If you're someone who doesn't really run up in the front with a melee weapon or bugs or squids, I really don't see a reason for you to be running it besides just aesthetically. But we gotta get into the guns, okay? The Laz 17 double-edged sickle is insane. So when I saw the trailer originally, I really wanted the gun to be more than, if you've ever played Destiny 2, Tommy's Matchbook, which basically is the same concept. It was an AR or an auto rifle that shot and kept shooting, and after a certain point, the gun would start overheating and burning you, and that burn damage was something that was to basically mitigate and justify the extra damage that was not even that good. So when I saw this gun, I was like, damn, this shit's gonna be really bad, because to be honest, guns that tend to have like okay, it damages you but you get a good amount of damage back, rarely ever see a good trade-off. However, Arrowhead did something amazing, to where the gun honestly has, it feels like, I could be wrong on this, it feels like it has, even though it says light armor penetration, it feels like it has medium armor pen, like from the get-go. The only thing is that it does heat up and damage you, but if you build into, you don't even have to build into it, because if you guys watch me on stream, I'm not changing my drip out just to run a gun. And so I was like, and I know most people on YouTube and other people are gonna be running the flame resistant builds with vitality, and if you do that, the burn damage that you suffer from shooting the double-edged sickle is literally like negligible. It's like not even a thing, really. So, and it's even also not a thing if you decide not to wear the armor. Truly, I've only died a handful of times, and that was only because the first time was me just holding down the gun for chat to show them exactly how it went, and then the second and third time was just moments where basically I just got a lot of berserkers on me when I was trying to take out an outpost, and I just completely forgot I had an autocannon or something else on me. So there is moments where you can die if you're just being a brainlet like me, but it's literally how I feel. It's what I wanted it to be when I first saw the gun, which is, I said, if it's not the adjudicator of laser weapons, then honestly it's just like a letdown. And it feels like not only is it an adjudicator, but it's like a 20 times better than adjudicator, because the gun has no recoil, it has very good accuracy. It's like actually insane. You will dome devastators like it's nothing, and you can take out like 4 or 5 devastators before you even take any chip damage from the burn. So in this gun alone, like, honest to God, we're shooting this up to S tier. This is like at the top of the gun hierarchy. Now, to be fair, I haven't used it against bugs, but I have used it against squids, and when I was using it against squids, it was very well. It was very, very good. It literally domed overseers like it was nothing. For some reason, like, the gun was just perfect. It could even take out tripods and gunships if you know where to shoot, which is insane. The one thing I will say though is that when you go against like the like lower vote lists, and I would assume this is the same for bugs, where you have like those big swarms of just warriors, worker bugs, and hunters, the gun does struggle. And it doesn't struggle in the sense of like, oh, it's not doing enough damage or killing things. It struggles in the sense that there's so many enemies, and if you're not built into flame resistance with vitality, or just basically trying to tank the chip to lower the mitigate the chip damage, you're going to use a lot of stems. So what I tend to do with my builds personally with this is I'm usually running the supply pack and running the double-edged sickle with the secondary that's in the game now called the GP31 Ultimatum, which is the other weapon that's shipped with this Warbond, which is, if you want to know what it is, it's like the simplest way to put it, it's a pocket precision airstrike. It is honestly so useful, so good. I hope it doesn't get nerfed. I don't think it deserves to get nerfed. I see people saying that it should get nerfed, which is out of pocket in my opinion, because if you see me stream, I whiff so many shots, and unless you know how to unless you've mastered the arc of the mortar shell that you're shooting from this pistol, it really isn't that broken, to be honest with you. Yes, it takes out stratagem jammers. Yes, it takes out detector towers. Yes, it takes out basically everything. The only things it will not take out are things like the gunship fabricators. It does not take out the monoliths. You do need a hell bomb for those. And this is a perfect example of something of how the arrowhead can do something different. So people are saying that it should get nerfed because it takes out a lot of the side objectives, but a lot of the side objectives that it does take out, like the research facilities, the stratagem jammers, all that stuff, all those things get taken out by other stratagems as well. So for a secondary that's basically supposed to be a super utility, souped up version of the grenade pistol that is, you only get 2 shots unless you bring in siege ready, which then gives you around, I think, 3 or 4. This is honestly super balanced. Okay, it's not only super balanced in the sense of that you only get a few shots and it only can take out that, but if you really don't like the idea of this pistol taking out so many side objectives, well, then I think it's perfectly acceptable to ask Arrowhead to then add more objectives that only a hell bomb can take out. I don't want us to nerf a gun simply because it handles too many of the side objectives when, honestly, a 500 kg does the same thing. Should we nerf 500 kgs from taking out stratagem jammers and detector towers? I don't think so. I think it's a really great gun. Yeah, it's good, trust me. It's really good. But I'm gonna be honest with you, Chief. This ultimatum is like, basically, I'm being honest, I really don't feel like it's good against taking out hordes of enemies, really, because at least I don't use it for that. I use it specifically as a utility to take out either the side objectives, or if it's standing still and it's right in front of me, I use it to take out a Hulk. But I mainly just use this for fabs, outposts, and objectives. It is like one of the best things for, it's like a very good utility. It's really sad that the grenade pistol just lost its its use. It's probably, I'm shooting this down a few levels now because the ultimatum is just so useful, so amazing. Another thing that they released that weapon wise that didn't come with the Warbond but came out with the Superstore is going to be the CQC5 combat axe. Now the combat axe, it honestly, if I'm just like, I'm not trying to be an asshole or anything or try to like shit on it, but if you've ever used the shovel, it uses the same animation swings, which is going to be a little bit lighter, a little bit faster with its swings. Honestly, this kind of movement of like super fast, like chopping down movements are really good against squids and everything. I'm not the best person when it comes to melee. It's not my kind of play style, but I did try it on squids and it was really fun. It was really good. I liked it. It is a little bit different than obviously the stun lance or the stun baton, but You know, it's a combat axe. There's nothing there's nothing crazy really about it. When you get to basically the Servant of Freedom's like grenade, you do have the G50 Seeker, which is really funny because if you were on chat maybe a week ago, we did have a whole thing where we were talking about me wanting basically Seeker mines and basically a whole warbond dedicated to drones, and how like it would be super cool to be basically a small minion build. And this G50 Seeker is like somehow something that like I never thought I'd get, and I really like it. It's basically a grenade that you can throw down on the floor and it'll start floating around you, and then you basically ping where you want it to go blow up. Or if you don't ping anything, it will just blow up the nearest most biggest target possible. I've seen this thing solo gunships. I see a big popular thing which is basically throwing down like 9 of them to follow you around, and then they do have a short battery life as it says in the description, but I mean by the time you throw them, you'll run into something that you've never really worried about the battery life. But it takes out a lot of shit. Now, to be fair, you can't just like for the bigger stuff like Hulks and everything. I have tried it myself. Don't just throw one and think it's gonna get the job done. This is more of like you throw them all down around you, let them fly around you, and then you send them out. It's not going to be good against fabricators. Personally, when I used it against fabricators, it just would fly around the fabricator, glitch out, and then it just blew up next to it, and didn't really blow up the fabricator. So this is more of like an enemy or flying enemy kind of deal. And when it comes to flying enemies, like one literally gets the job done. So there's no reason to spam them. But if you do want to do like a super high burst of damage, just throw them all at your feet. They'll hover around you, and then like ping a factory strider and just watch it blow up. Because when you have like a lot of them and that damage stack goes up with the burst, it's insane the kind of things that you can get done with the G50 Seekers. I love them. I just hope Arrowhead starts to invest more in the concept of their drones, because I really want to see a Helldivers. There's multiple builds, but most of the builds are either explosions, stealth, or more explosions. It really feels. There is CQ, there is crowd control with like, you know, the Liberator concussive, and you know, gas and smokes and EMS, but I really would love to see a new form of playstyle through Helldivers with basically a maintain build with drones, or you know, a way to hack bots so that they fight for your side, or you know, support soldiers, something, you know. But it would be cool. It would be cooler if it was drones, to be honest. Just a support minion build would be super cool to see in Helldivers, and the G50 Seeker is just one thing that gets you a little bit closer to that feeling. And lastly, something that the community and me have asked for a lot, that Arrowhead finally added to the game, which was a portable hell bomb. This, unironically, is one of the most funniest things in the whole world. The memes, the moments, it really does it. I know a lot of people said in the beginning of the Warbond's release that the ultimatum was going to trivialize the portable hell bomb, since it took out so many of the side objectives by itself. There was really no reason to bring the portable hell bomb. But I think people fail to realize that I don't think that's what the portable hell bomb is really used for. While yes, it can take out side objectives like the gunship fabricators and the monoliths that you see on squids, I really don't think that's what they intended it to be for. This is something that at least I've had viewers in my games play and use it for, which is completely shutting down an entire breach, bug breach, bot drop, or Illuminate ships. All right, it will just shut down an entire wave of enemies, because you will be getting so many kills. I mean, there's someone in my my community named Vet who regularly joins in through the streams. Hey, if you guys want to watch me stream, I'm always live at 10:30 a.m. through usually around 8 o'clock p.m. EST on the channel. Most likely I'm live right now as you're watching this, but that's the shameless plug. He literally will always just activate the portable hell bomb, run straight into a bot drop, and then the bot drop's done. It takes out everything. Now, you would think, oh, it's a portable hell bomb, so that means the explosion is lesser or smaller or not as effective. It's just maybe a little bit bigger than a 500 kg. No, it is a hell bomb. You have a literal hell bomb on your back, ready to go. Now, I could see this being an issue where if it is the way I think it is, how deaths do affect your liberation efforts on your missions when you succeed them. I could see maybe that being a problem with the portable hell bomb, but to be honest, I don't even know if that's even minuscule, and I'm not gonna let that affect mine or let that affect anyone's gameplay. It is honestly super coming in clutch when you are on the front of the bots on Martyr Bay and you are getting dropped 3 to 4 factory striders and a bunch of tanks and a bunch of devastators, and all you hear is like the wow, and then you just hear like the charging up noise, and I just see my homie run across the trenches and go straight into the bots shamelessly, and for some reason they don't shoot him, and he gets in there and he just blows up and he gets like 125 kills. I think that was like the most that my dude got. He was getting like 100 to like 91 to 100 kills like easily every time he blew himself up doing this. It is the best ad clear in the game. It is super funny. There's a lot of utility to it as well, because you obviously can drop it. You don't have to suicide. You don't have to commit jihad to you do the portable hell bomb, even though that adds to the meme and is a little bit more funnier. It's really overall just like everything about this warbond. Everything's useful. Like I said, the only thing that may not be useful is the armor perk, but that's just me personally, because if it only works is if you plan on dying in your missions, right? So if you don't really die a lot while you play like 10s, or I know most of the community plays 5s through 8s, so if whatever mission or difficulty you're doing, if you don't really die at all, or once or twice, you really are basically having a perk do nothing for you. It's essentially like invisible. You're playing a perkless armor set. So I personally just don't feel like it's up to par with compared to all the other such amazing stuff that we see in the Warbond. But Servants of Freedom, I would have to put up there with, like, honestly, I'd put it up there with Democratic Detonation, of how good all the stuff is in the Warbond. It's insane. Like the double-edged sickle, the ultimatum, the grenade, the portable hellbomb is just so amazing. Like, I would expect to see maybe one of these in one other warbond that are so good, but like to have so many good options on you in just one warbond is just insane. You only seen that so far in Democratic Detonation. So I think it's an amazing warbond, and if you have those super credits, remember, go farm tier 1s through 3s and just look around and farm yourself some super credits if you really don't want to spend money, or support Arrowhead so that this game can continue getting, like, reinvested in by the development. Show your support. Give them $10. But I overall like it. And if you guys want a quick build, what I usually tend to do that runs me no problems at all when it comes to playing on 10s for 10 bots and 10 squids, I haven't tried it with 10 bugs, but it'll probably be relatively the same. I run double-edged sickle, I run the ultimatum, and then I run a supply pack using then a 500 kg and a laser rifle with the laser support weapon. On top of that, it depends on whether you're going to be running bots or squids or bugs, but if I'm running bots or bugs, I'm probably using thermite grenades, and then if I'm running squids, it's going to be impact. Now, for other people who were doing the damage mitigation builds, you're going to want something that's going to have flame resistance. So the armor sets like the Firefighter, the I-92 Firefighter set, that provides a 75 damage resistance to fire. That's going to be armor sets that you're going to be wanting to wear. If there's a light version of it, I could be wrong. I don't remember if there is. I off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure there is like yeah, there is. There's like the Heat Seeker, which has the same thing. That's 75% resistance to fire. Stuff like this, which is going to give you resistances to specifically fire, or if you use the Hellghast armor, which is going to give you 50% resistance to fire and basically every kind of dot damage in the game, are going to help you mitigate it. And then if you can try to bring in Vitality, or if you have someone else bring in Vitality on your group, that's basically going to make it to where the sickle is not going to be doing basically anything to your health bar, and you can hold down the trigger for quite a while and do quite a good amount of damage. And then if you do take any damage, or since you have the ultimatum, what the supply pack is really just used for the ultimatum, you're going to want to really just use it for that. So because you only get like if you don't bring in like something that's going to be boosting your ammo capacity like siege ready, you're only getting 2 shots of the ultimatum compared to getting 3 or 4. And there could be possibly more objectives, or if you want to use it against ads, because it is a good way to like alleviate pressure from a push from bots at least. So that's basically what my thoughts are on the whole Servants of Freedom Warbond. Tell me what you guys think down below. Tell me what you guys like, what you guys hate. Tell me what you guys agree with, all that jazz. And be safe and fun, and I'll see you guys next time.